weeks, the Divrei Torah that are told almost always relate to Ahavas Yisrael, loving the Jewish people, or not speaking Lashon Hara. And rightfully so. The Talmud in Masechah Yoma tells us that the reason for the destruction of the temple, and thus the 2,000 years of suffering that we have gone through since that time, is the Aveira of Sinas Chinam, of not loving the Jewish people. But there's another theme in Masechet Gittin that the Talmud tells us is the reason for the destruction of the temple, and I'd like to look at it because it's not very often spoken about, and I think it's an important message. It's one that perhaps we should analyze together, so let's learn about it. The famous story of Kamsa and Bar Kamsa is told. You see, there's a man who's throwing a party, and he has a friend and an enemy. The friend's name is Kamsa, the enemy's name is Bar Kamsa, and he sends his messenger to go invite his friend to the party, and he mistakenly invites his enemy Bar Kamsa. Bar Kamsa shows up. He's at the party, he's eating. The owner says, "What are you doing here? I don't understand why you're here. Get out." He says, "Let me pay for my food." He says, "Please." Bar Kamsa says, "Let me pay for my food and I can stay." He says, "No, get out." "Well, what about if I pay for half the party? Get out." "What if I pay for the whole party? Just let me stay and don't embarrass me." "Get out of my house," he says. Bar Kamsa has no choice. He gets up and he goes. The Rabbanan at the party didn't say anything. They failed to act. And Bar Kamsa decided, well, they must agree with him. And thus he decided he was going to take matters into his own hands. He was not happy, and he was going to go to the Roman emperor. He said, "Roman emperor, the Jewish people are rebelling against you." He was so angry. He said, "Watch, send a korban, a sacrifice for their temple, and see if they give it." And he brings the korban over, and he gives it a moon. He gives it a blemish so that it can't go on the temple. It can't go on the Mizbeach. The Rabbanan get it, they don't know what to do. The Roman emperor sent us a korban, a sacrifice. How can we say no to it? We're going to start a war. So they make a suggestion, maybe this is the answer, maybe that is the answer. And Zechariah ben Avkulis continues to throw out these ideas. He rejects them. He says, "You can't do this, you can't do this." And the Talmud at some point stands up and says, listen, Zechariah ben Avkulis, because of his humility, the temple was destroyed. Humility. How could it be that humility is the reason that the temple was destroyed? That is the source of destruction? That is the message of Masechet Gittin? Is it not the greatest of all midot? Is it not Moshe Rabbeinu's primary midot? Rabbi Yissachar's friend explains like this. He says that every Jew wields an axe. We hold on to certain tools, and we have an opportunity to utilize them at some point in our life. When you fail to act, when you have that opportunity, when it comes in front of you and you need to make that difference, you need to stand up and make that statement. If you don't, you are part of the destruction. It is not enough to not be the destroyer, but to not stand up for that which is right. Then you too join the ranks of the other side. May we take this message to heart during the 3 weeks, to understand and to look internally, what are those gifts that we have? What are the differences we can make? And let's go ahead and make those differences. Have a meaningful 3 weeks, and may we dance together at the temple.